Not to cut you off, but I'm going to.
Not to cut you off, but let me just cut you off.
3, 2, 1.
You have to decide, Carolyn.
Can you talk?
We're about to find. Oh, I can. It's okay.
I did this to myself. This is my own game, damn
That's
it.
true.
Hello, everyone. We are back to judge more British and American book covers. If you are new here, hello.
Hello.
My name is Carolyn, and this is...
Leon.
I am American. You are not.
I'm not.
He is British, and we are married, and we love, every time we go into different bookshops, talking about the different covers. We both love reading, and we already did a part 1 to this video, so if you watched that, amazing. We wanted to film another part because we had so much fun. So I put together a slideshow of a bunch of different US and UK book covers, so we're going to see if US or UK wins. We're going to vote using these cards that I made.
Yeah, and I don't know what books you've picked out.
No.
So.
Yeah, so this is a complete surprise. This slideshow was just made by me, which I feel like maybe next time I should have someone else make it, and then it could be a surprise to both of us. But I tried to not have preconceived notions, although I already do. Anyway.
You've
Okay.
already voted for all of them in your head.
Yeah. Okay. Number 1 is Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan. This is a book that I have read and loved. It's one of my all-time favorites. We recently went to see it in the cinema, and it was amazing. So Leon has seen the movie, hasn't read the book. I have read the book and obviously seen the movie now.
I like them both. I don't know. I don't have a very clear answer just yet.
Okay. My thoughts are very conflicted. This is a scenario where I feel like I love things about each one. There is one that I do feel like maybe captures the story slightly better. I feel like this one, I love both of them so much, so equally. And like I said, they both represent the book quite well. So this is a tough one. And also, I didn't say this yet, but you guys, we would love for you to vote in the comments as well and see if you agree with our votes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I agree. There are... I mean, I haven't read the book, but based on the movie, which was great, I can see different aspects of it in each of the covers.
I'm leaning towards one based on which one I feel like represents the story better or gives me an essence of the story a little bit better.
Okay, I'm going to go with the one that gives me the closest feeling to what I felt watching the movie.
Okay, so kind of same thing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do as well,
Yeah.
but with
Okay.
the book. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Oh! Okay. Do you want to explain why first?
I think the UK one maybe makes it feel a bit more...
Like, happy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the UK one feels a bit too happy.
Yeah.
Which is very unlike the UK.
Yes. Very true. Also, the fact that it's like snowing in the US one
Yeah,
too,
it's-
it's like very
Yeah.
much more UK.
And you just get a sense of like the bleakness of the town.
And the quietness.
Yeah.
Like what I love about the US one is it's very simple, but it's also very quiet. And I feel like the UK one, we have people like skating on an ice rink. Like it gives you kind of like a happier, more like celebratory, fun
Yeah.
feeling. Aesthetically or like visually, I am so drawn to the UK cover because I love the colors, I love the texture of the illustration, like the texture of the brushes that they used, and I just think it's a gorgeous cover.
Agreed.
But I don't know if it represents the feeling that the story has as much as the US one does.
Agreed.
Okay. See, isn't that, I feel like, I don't know, this is so interesting to me,
Yeah.
also because I just love cover design,
Yeah.
but yeah. Okay, next. It's The City and Its Uncertain Walls by Haruki Murakami. I originally saw the UK cover, and I didn't know what the US cover looked like. And then it recently came up on my Instagram and I was baffled. Can I vote already?
Yes.
Okay. What is that cover? What is the US cover? Like...
Okay, so I'm gonna join you.
Okay, cool.
Initially, I was also disgusted by the US one. The more I look at it, the less bad it seems.
Okay. Please explain.
But I also don't like the colors at all.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't exactly remember what this is all about. I know there's something to do with like a magical library or something with like some books. I like that the book is represented in the UK cover. I also love how they placed the title sideways. I think it's very interesting.
Yeah, the UK one here looks a lot more thoughtful.
Yeah.
I haven't read the story, so I don't know what the significance of each cover is. But aesthetically, the UK one definitely, what's the phrase? Takes the cake? Is that a phrase?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next we have Blue Sisters by Coco Melors, I think is how you say her name. I was interested to compare these two covers because they're both very similar.
Yeah.
And this is a book that I really want to read. The book is about 4 sisters. Primarily, I think we follow one sister in particular, but it's about 4 sisters and all of their like relationships and dynamics with one another, and a lot of people recommend it to readers who really enjoyed Intermezzo by Sally Rooney because Intermezzo has a really great sibling relationship between brothers, and people said if you like that, then this is a great example of sister relationships. 3, 2, 1. Ooh.
Why?
I think I prefer the fact that you get the 4 sisters, and I feel like it's a very interesting separation of the composition. I just feel like it kind of gives you a little bit more because it's not just about the one sister, although maybe we might follow her a bit more, but I like that we get a sense that this isn't just about one girl, like it's Blue Sisters, so it's multiple, you know?
I think I like the layout and the font and the colours of the UK one.
I do agree with you on that.
We're only seeing one on the UK book, so it kind of makes you want to read to find out who the other sisters are.
Okay.
As opposed to just seeing everyone there.
This is another, like, small things like these. Like, I really like different things. I like different things about both covers. Okay, next up we have... Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. I have read this recently and it became one of my favorite books of this year. Leon gifted me the UK edition, and
so maybe I'll be a little biased here.
You might be a little biased. Well, I'm 100% very confident in my choice. There's one cover that I really like more than the other one.
Me too.
3, 2, 1.
Okay. Yeah, so I think the UK one is more aesthetically pleasing and less busy. But I actually do like the US one. Like, the more I looked at it, the more it grew on me.
Okay.
I prefer the UK overall. But I wouldn't mind having the US.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you like about it?
I like that the whole thing is a chessboard. I just think that's cool. And how different people in the book are the chess pieces on the board.
And maybe whatever chess piece they are could signify their role in the story. I feel like, okay, this might be really silly. I feel like if the board wasn't yellow, I would like it more. Like, if the board was the navy blue in the UK cover, I think I would like it more. I really like the crop on the UK edition. I think it's a very interesting perspective.
Also, interesting thing about the US is that Sally Rooney's name is larger than the title of the book.
I know. That's an interesting situation when an author is so well renowned that their name becomes bigger than the title. Next up, The Overstory by Richard Powers. This is a book that neither of us have read. I own... Ooh, I'm gonna join you! I own the US cover, and I think it's gorgeous. I don't mind the UK cover, but I feel like... I'm talking. You
go
talk.
for it. No, go for it.
Okay. I love...
Do what you do best.
Talk? I love the composition. I love that it looks like a historic painting. I love the vibe. I think it really like captures my attention. Whereas I feel like it's also a fictional book. I don't think a lot of people know that it's fiction because it gives like a nature nonfiction vibe, especially the UK cover. I just think it's gorgeous.
Me too.
Yeah. Next we have Babel or Babel. Not sure which one it is. An Arcane Story by R.F. Kuang. This is one that I have been eyeing in the bookshops recently.
So it's the same illustration, but they just replaced the tower in the middle with the title.
I should mention, the US one isn't gold foil, but the UK one is silver foil.
Very interesting.
We both haven't read this one, but we both are quite intrigued about it, right?
Yeah. I actually don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
I have a clear winner for me.
There are things about each one that I like and don't like.
Okay. What do you want to elaborate?
The US one, I like that the author and the title are very clear and the text stands out more. I do prefer the font on the UK one. I feel like it fits the aesthetic of the illustration more.
3, 2, 1.
Ooh.
Oh, interesting.
I voted on the impulse of the feeling that the font and colour of the title and author gave me.
Okay.
It just gives me more of a fantasy feeling.
Okay.
There's something about that font and colour which gives me a fantasy feeling.
Right.
So I feel like it would just get me more into the mood for the book.
To be honest, I kind of feel like the font on the US one, if it was actual gold foil, I think I would like it more. But it's not actual gold foil, it's just like whatever it looks like here but printed on paper. I love the font on the UK one. I like that it's vertical and I love just the intricacy. I feel like it gives me like a dark academia Oxford vibe. And like the ripped paper in the middle I think is really cool.
I get that. I do like the title on the UK version.
Alright, on to the next?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
In Memoriam by Alice Wynne. This is a book that neither of us have read, and
I've never heard of this.
Really? I showed it to you in McNally Jackson. I showed you the US one.
I was definitely listening.
Marriage, everyone. Yeah, I keep wanting to read this book, but I don't have a copy of it yet. The US cover has a quote from People magazine that says, "An epic love story amid the brutalities of war." I believe it's a male-male romance set during, I want to say, the Second World War, but I could be wrong.
A vivid rendering of the madness and legacy of the First World War.
Oh, never mind.
As seen through the lens of a schoolboy love affair.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Why?
I really like the painting.
Yeah, me too.
It also kind of gives me Call Me By Your Name.
Yes!
Kind of.
Yes!
Which is fitting for this story.
And that it's like ripped.
Yeah,
it's almost like what else was the rest of the painting? You know?
Well, it also looks like the whole front cover of the book has been ripped except that piece.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the cover is what the first page inside would look like.
Yeah, and it's like in memoriam, it's like, okay, like, are we memorializing someone who's no longer there? Have they been ripped out of the person's life?
Yeah.
Type feeling. I feel like...
No, we're just sad about the fact that the cover was ripped.
I just think it gives you more, like, intrigue. It gives you a feeling of the story, maybe. Whereas I think the UK cover is cool design as a whole, but it doesn't really give me much. It's just like two figures in black and white walking away from each other, which like does tell you something, but I feel like it's less emotional.
Yeah, it also feels quite modern compared to the US version with the painting and also the font of the text. It just makes it feel more old, kind of puts you in
the time period.
In the time period a bit more.
All right, next we have The Kawagawa Food Detectives by Hisashi Kashiwai. I've been wanting to read this one. So basically, I believe it's about I haven't read it, Leon hasn't read it.
I don't think I've heard of this one.
Okay.
Unless you told me about it.
I don't think I did.
Wasn't listening.
I don't think I did. You get off the hook this time. I believe it's about a father and daughter who run this like food detective service, so people can come to them and say, this food from my childhood, like I really want to have it but I don't have a recipe, or like they basically try and create the recipes for people to either help them heal or remember a memory or like something like that.
So is the cat the detective?
I don't know if the cat has a symbol, has a place in the story. A lot of Japanese books, it's hilarious. Like, they put cats on the covers, even if there's no cat in the story, just because I think it's like a selling point. Yeah. It's a visual selling point, because who doesn't love a cute cat?
Are you ready to vote?
I'm ready to vote, okay. Yes. 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Really?
Really?
Okay,
why
explain.
Zooming out.
Yes.
I prefer the aesthetic of the UK one, generally.
Okay.
I think the composition and the colours. I also think it's more interesting, and the cat seems like a detective by the way he's eyeing that bowl of noodles, whereas in the US one, the cat just seems like he's having a great time.
I think he's like smelling. Oh, he's smelling
fumes. Okay.
The delicious fumes of the dish.
Yeah, that's my analysis.
Okay, my analysis is I don't love the Japanese bestseller symbol on the UK one, but I don't mind it on the US one because it kind of feels like it's part of the design.
Yeah.
I also think it's just a really interesting composition where we have like these really beautifully illustrated bowls. I like the colors. I love the font. And I just kind of like how it all sort of goes together. And I love the cat on the right one. I love how he's rendered. I love the texture of the fur. It just is really pleasing to my eyeballs.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
I would say all the same things, but about the UK one.
Ah, interesting. Mm-hmm. Okay. Next we have There There by Tommy Orange.
I have also never heard of this one.
Really? Mm-hmm.
Tommy Orange sounds familiar, but I don't recall.
Mm-hmm. I believe it's about an indigenous tribe in America. I believe.
Can I just point out the fact that they're quoting Margaret Atwood on Twitter?
I didn't even notice that. That's
on both
funny.
of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I love how it says hilarious. On Twitter.
Well, it's not even called Twitter anymore.
Yeah.
What do you do about that?
This book is an historical artifact.
Yes. So. Are we voting? Really? Oh my gosh.
That's my reaction.
Okay. What don't you like about the UK?
There's a lot.
Really?
There's a lot going on.
Oh, I thought you meant there's a lot you didn't like.
No. There's a lot going on. The title is like completely covered. It makes it slightly hard for me to read it. I don't know if
That's the only complaint I had about the UK one. I feel like, not to cut you off, but I'm going to.
Not to cut you off, but let me just cut you off. Yeah.
Aesthetically, I love the UK one, though I'm like, you can't really read the cover. Or you can't really read the title. So they put Tommy Orange's name above the orange color, and I think it works there. If they had the black overlap a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Some of the orange is under, some is over the title.
Yeah.
I do think it's beautiful.
I do like the colours. Mm-hmm. Like the cream beige background with the orange and black. Mm-hmm. I think that's nice. Mm-hmm. The US one is just a lot cleaner. Mm-hmm. And the colours are bold, but I still think it looks good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next we have The Heart of a Dog by Mikhail Bulgakov.
Is this serious?
What do you mean?
Is this a serious question?
Is there one that you prefer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there not one that you prefer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same one. 3, 2, 1. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Like, why are you acting that way? You scared me.
No, it's just repulsive.
Well, I think that's the point.
Yeah, well...
Heart of a Dog is about this professor and scientists who take the testicles and pituitary gland of a recently deceased man and they put them in a dog, and it's kind of like this Russian classic type Frankenstein situation. And this is one of my favorite Russian classics. I love it so much. Bulgakov is just such a fantastic writer, and it's such a crazy, wacky book, and I do feel like you get that from both of the covers. I think they both give you the vibe of the story very well. But I find the US cover a little like off-putting, and like maybe that's indicative of the story, but I like that you kind of get like the goofiness from the UK one.
Yeah, I think it's also the colors on the US one.
I do think it's one of those covers where it's shiny, but I'm not 100%.
Oh, is it?
I'm not 100% certain.
If it's shiny, then I completely dislike it. If it's not, then I will give it. I don't completely hate it if it's not shiny. You could make a case for it.
Yes, I agree.
But I prefer the UK one.
Me too.
If it's shiny, then I maintain my initial reaction.
Right, next we have The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. I want you to read the subtitle.
Tiffy and Leon share a bed. Whoa.
Tiffany and Leon share a bed. Tiffany and Leon have never met. And that's the UK one. And then the US one says, what if your roommate was your soulmate? So this is a contemporary romance about Tiffy. Oh, I said Tiffany.
Yeah, it's Tiffy.
Tiffy and Leon, which I think is hilarious.
I can assure you it's not about me.
3, 2, 1. Nice.
Go on.
So...
Spill the beans.
I like the texture of the illustration. I think the title is really cool that way. I feel like we get more from the little blurb that says, what if your roommate was your soulmate? Because I feel like Tiffy and Leon share a bed. Tiffy and Leon have never met. It's like, what? Is this a horror book? Is this a romance? Like, what?
Yeah,
what's going on?
About a stalker?
Yeah.
Like, Tiffy hasn't met Leon because he's just, like, very sneakily creeping into her bed at night and then disappearing before she wakes up.
Yeah.
So they've just never met.
And also, like, this light on top of the bed, it's like, are they being interrogated? Like, it's giving me, like, police interrogation feelings. Whereas, I think, like, the two doorknobs leading into the two different perspectives gives me more of, like, a roommate romance vibe rather than, like...
Yeah, and also the idea that they're, like, so close to each other, but also separated by this wall.
Very true. Next, The Bear and the Nightingale. This is a book that I really want to read kind of soonish. What is your initial reaction?
I'm still processing.
Okay.
As I stroke my chin very thoughtfully.
I think I like different aspects of both, though I gravitate more towards one. Though I feel like one might give you more of the story. It might be more of a narrative image. So I believe it is a fantasy book set, I think in Russia, somewhere cold. I don't remember exactly where. I think it's Russia. It's part of the Winter Night trilogy. It's book 1. And I think we are following a young girl main character in this cold, wintry fantasy book that I don't know anything else. 3, 2, 1.
No, if
I agree.
If I had to,
US.
I'd go US.
The US is more of a narrative image, and I think the UK is a bit more aesthetically beautiful. I mean, the US one is also beautiful. Like, I think the illustration of the young girl going into the lit house is beautiful. And I also kind of like the title font a bit better on the US one, but I feel like aesthetically I'm gravitating towards the nightingale with the flower. And what are those little houses down below? Yeah, like the little houses. Yeah, what do you think? Can you talk?
We're about to find... Oh, I can. Yeah, I see what you mean about the UK. For a moment, I was thinking of voting for the UK because it's maybe a bit more aesthetically pleasing overall.
The
But
US
then
one does feel a bit busier.
the feeling that it gives me, like I feel more, I feel immersed in the book before I've even opened the cover.
Yeah, this is another one where I feel very like 60-40. Next up, Moominland Midwinter by Tove Jansson. This one is so clear to me.
Same.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Yeah. I feel like I don't even have to explain why.
Yeah.
It's so sad. I have the US edition, and then recently we went to Waterstones, and I saw the UK edition, and I was like, this is so beautiful. And also the blue of the title and the author is like a reflective blue, and I love the art style of the illustration matches the art style in the book, which is Tove Jansson's artwork. And I love the colors. Like, why is this one purple?
That was my first thought.
You might see me at Waterstones buying that edition.
Oh boy.
Okay, I think the next one is potentially the last one. Okay, it is. I think it is. Okay. I believe so. So this is by Grand Central Station, I Sat Down and Wept by Elizabeth Smart. Impeccable title. I think this is a nonfiction, I believe, about Elizabeth Smart, if not the main character, I think going through heartbreak, but I don't exactly remember. 3, 2, 1.
You have to decide, Carolyn.
I have gone this way and that way. I really want this book, but I don't know what edition I want of it, so I'm very torn. Can I explain what I like about each?
No, you must vote.
Too bad. Okay, so I love the aesthetics and the font and the simplicity of the UK one. But I feel like seeing an actual old photograph of Grand Central gives you more of the Grand Central essence, you know, like the essence of the setting of the story.
Yeah.
I don't love the title in like the blue circle. I love the blue and like salmon color of the UK one. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm very torn.
I agree with what you said. And the US version immerses me into the environment and the story. Just from the cover. Whereas the UK one,
it doesn't give much.
Yeah.
Although there are like tears.
I was going to say,
dripping.
I do like that they use tears.
You kind of already get the weeping from the title.
It doesn't change.
You know?
It doesn't make me like it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe if the UK one was in a different like color palette. Like maybe if it was similar.
Oh, really? Color palette? I like the colors.
If it was maybe similar to the US one, like grays, whites, blacks.
Okay, well this is my
that could be
okay,
cool.
This is my feedback. If we were in an art critique, like when I was in college, I would say, what if we had like a very faded image of this image of Grand Central, and like in the salmon color, instead of the salmon color, have it be like an almost white, but you can see Grand Central, like in where the salmon color would be, and you have the title over it. Am I explaining myself well?
Yeah, but would the background still be salmon or white?
No, it would be white.
So basically just the same background as the US.
But more faded.
The text over the background.
Yes.
That could
right?
work, yeah.
I feel like that'd be nice.
Maybe you'll have to try
I'll redesign it.
Yeah, try it. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. I am leaning more towards the US one because I agree with you, like it gives you more of an essence of the setting and the story. But I think the UK one is so beautiful.
Wait, so did you vote for the US or the
Nope.
UK? What?
All right, if I really, really had to, I think I would vote US.
Okay. It's okay.
I did this to myself. This is my own game, damn
That's
it.
true.
So, did you have fun?
I did.
Okay. We didn't tally who won, so we will put the winner on the screen. I think it was way more split than I expected.
Yeah, I found myself voting for the US a lot more than I thought.
Anyway.
Yeah, let us know how many votes you gave to the UK and the US. We'll have our votes up on the screen. And
thanks for watching. We hope you had fun. All right. Well, See you soon in another video. And as always,
Happy
reading.